Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Microwave or Parker. This is my first YouTube video of hopefully many where I'm going to be working on my car, going to car meets, modifying it, stuff like that. Maybe some racing and track events too. This is my 2008 Infiniti G37. This is my first video, so bear with me. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at MicrowavePL, stickers right there. Before anything, I'm going to pull my car out, give you an overview of all the mods I have done to it, and then we'll get right into the ECU install. Alright, so for a quick mod overview, I'll go over some of the mods on the outside of the car first, mainly the cosmetic stuff. Has aftermarket headlights, carbon fiber fenders, and quick release bumper tabs because my bumper is barely held on. Aftermarket front grille. Side mounted license plate holder, which actually is a license plate flipper. It's not wired up right now, but has a cosmetic plate on the back. To the side, we've got carbon fiber mirror caps on each side. We've got aftermarket tail lights with a carbon fiber wing. Same thing on the back with that license plate flipper. This one is wired up though. I would need to get longer wire for the front. Has a MagnaFlow cat back, Burke high flow cats underneath the car, and ISR short tube headers. Has an aftermarket carbon fiber steering wheel, aftermarket shift knob with a Z1 short throw shifter. I've got some wiring done in there. You can see that little module right there is for the license plate flipper. I have a radar detector and dash cam wired up there. It is hardwired through, or it's tapped into a cigarette plug. And I believe that's all my interior mods. Under the hood, we have some AFE Takeda long tube intakes that go into the front with the splash shield on them. I have some performance coil packs. You can kind of, I don't know if you can actually see it or not, but down there, go to this side, you can see better. Down there is the headers that I have on, the ISR short tubes, and it has a Z1 clutch, Z1 pressure plate, Z1 flywheel with a CSC delete as well. And I believe those are all the mods I have done to it. Anyways, today we're going to be putting this new ECU in. You can kind of just see it's hanging there, barely. I know my car's pretty dirty. Now the reason I'm installing this new ECU is because I just got a tune courtesy of VPF Tuning down here in San Antonio area. The 2008s have something weird with their ECU. They don't have enough memory. I think it's only like a half megabyte difference, but that half megabyte is enough to make the difference between completely bricking your ECU when you get a tune or it running just fine. All right, I'm not sure how well it's going to be visible on the video, but this thing right here, this big metal piece, is the old ECU that I have to remove. There's a bolt right there and right there, and I have no idea how I'm going to get to any of the other bolts, but they're in the same spots, just higher up. Like you can see there's another one there, and then one way up there as well. I'm going to see what I can do. I might have to remove my glove box or something, but we'll figure it out. First thing you gotta do to remove your ECU is obviously take off your battery. I just do it by removing the negative terminal, but you can remove both if you want. It's just quicker and easier to only remove one, so that's what I do. tuck that down there, close that back up, and you're all good. After you remove the battery, what you've got to do, come here to your glove box and you've got to remove it. I've already done the first step, which is you just kind of got to open it and then open it just a little bit, kind of like that, and then just kind of wiggle it and pull on it and it'll pop out, and then your glove box will be loose, which you've got to, let's see if I can put the camera somewhere where y'all can actually see what I'm doing here. All right, there we go. So then you've got to pull it to one side, pull the other side down, and then it'll be hanging by this little wire, which I believe you can just pop off with like a little panel popper, something like this, or a flathead screwdriver, a plastic trim piece, anything like that. Let me look at it real quick. Actually, I'll show you it right now. This little bead looking thing, you can see it right there. All right, so I used this little trim tool, pin popper tool right here. And what I did was that little plastic piece, you just slide behind it like that and just pop it right off. And then your glove box is off. You can just take that, put it to the side. I'm just putting it in the back of my car. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Most of y'all's cars, I'm assuming, will have this little plastic piece on. I don't. You can tell it because the ECU is just hanging there, but this will be right below here like that. You can just pop that off by hand by just pulling down on it, and it'll come right out. Anyways, next thing you've got to do is this side panel plastic piece right here. You're going to want to take that off. You can just, it was a little violent, but you can just pop it off by hand like that. It'll come right off perfectly fine. You got to pull pretty hard and it won't mess it up or anything. You can see all the pins are still intact, perfectly fine. You just got to manhandle it a little bit. That'll get that side off for you. Next thing you're going to want to do is you'll find some screws in the dash. There should be 7 of them or so. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing one right there. Not sure where the rest are, but I will let you know if I find them. But I'm just using a Phillips head screwdriver because my drill battery is dead right now and I don't feel like waiting for it to charge. But you just go ahead, take those screws out, and I like to put them in a little Ziploc bag just to make sure I don't lose them. I'll just put that over to the side, but just do that. Go ahead, remove all your screws, and that's it for now. All right, so I got those 4 out. I found 2 of the other ones. There's one right there and another one up there at the top. So 2 at the top right there. And I'm going to go ahead and get those taken out real quick. Then you're gonna wanna kind of loosen that up a little bit, but there's still one more thing you've got to remove before you get that fully taken out, and it is that, let's see if I can get it in focus, that little push pin thing right there. You're gonna want to take your needle nose pliers, kind of pinch it, and then just push it through. Next thing you're going to want to do is come over to this side where you remove that panel, pull down on this to separate it from this trim piece here. It'll come right off, and holding on to it are a couple of wire connectors. you're just going to want to go ahead and remove those. All right, so this first one's a little bit tricky, but you take your screwdriver. Let me lower the exposure so you can see. You take your screwdriver, wedge it in this little gap right here, as far down as you can go. Kind of get it in there, wiggle it, and then you're gonna want to push it up this way, like that. Like, take it, push it upwards, like that way. So take your screwdriver in there, push it up. That one will pop right out. Then the second one and third one, I believe, are a lot simpler. Just take it, pinch the top, see it. Just pinch the top like that and pull it out. It's a little tricky, but just do that and it'll come out. I'm gonna see if I can find my pliers to make it easier. All right, so I found my pliers. Pinch the top like that, and just pull it out. There you go, just like that. It'll come right out. All right, then this last clip, sorry, it's kind of hard to see because of the lighting, but you're going to want something like a flathead. You're going to push on this top part right here, and then just slide it out like that. I do it by twisting the screwdriver. It makes it pretty easy to get it out. And once it's a little bit loose, you can just go on and snap it right out. Then this piece you can just put to the side for now, and that is done for now. Now you can really start seeing the ECU there. Much easier to access. There was no way I was getting to it just from under here with the glove box in. But now you can actually start removing some of the ECU bolts. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is go up under here. You'll see that, where is it at? That 10mm bolt right there. Take a socket wrench, slide that on. You can go ahead and loosen that bolt. Okay, there we go. There's that first bolt removed. Put that in our Ziploc bag so we don't lose it. Then there's one more bolt right there. You can see it now. You're going to want to remove. Then the ECU bracket's going to be taken out. Now you guys are going to have these connectors to also remove if you're doing this without a new ECU already installed. I do not have to, but these you can apparently just remove by hand. I'm not 100% sure how. Figured it out. So you push down on this little plastic piece right here, and then pull up on these. Then you can just pull that right off. I'm not going to, but that's how you do all three of these. All right, I'm going to now get that second bracket bolt removed. This one's a little harder to get to just because it's further back, but it's still not super difficult. Hate working under dashboards. It sucks, some of the angles you find yourself in. But anyways, you can go ahead and remove the ECU now attached to the ECU bracket. You can see it there. You just pull that out. I have a zip tie down there that I've got to cut, but I'm guessing most of you will not have that, so you can just go ahead and pull it right out. All right, so I did go ahead and remove one of those connectors. It is super simple. You just push down on that little plastic piece, pull back on this, and you just keep pulling back and it'll pop right out. But anyways, Once you've got your ECU removed, it is super simple from here. You just take off these 4 bolts holding on the bracket with that 10mm that you were using earlier. Mine is right here. And once you do that, you just bolt your new ECU on, and we do everything in reverse. You can take your old ECU and just pull it right off like that. Here's the old one right here. No need for this anymore. So I'm just going to put it right there. Then take your new one, and it might be tricky to get in place. I might have to remove all the connectors. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. There we go. So here's my new one right here. One thing I'm gonna do, which you guys might not have to, but there's this clip right under there. Don't know how well you can see that. That clip right there. Same thing as the other clip we just removed to get the glove box out. Grab that, pinch it, and just push it out. Put the camera down for a second. There we go. So you're gonna wanna pinch that little clip and just push it right through. Pop right out. Your bracket will be completely free. So then you're all good there. One thing you do wanna pay attention to though, make sure that when you're putting your ECU on, you wanna make sure that this goes in the same way that you took it out. Mine is, I believe it's like this, where this longer side is at the bottom and this round part is at the top, with the connectors at the bottom. So the ECU goes onto this little panel like this. So that long side there at the bottom, and shorter side here at the top part of it. Then from this point on, it is just everything that we have done in reverse. So you're gonna wanna take those nuts that you just had. So take the nuts that you were just using. It's these small black ones. You're just going to want to put all of those back on to the ECU where you just removed them. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then tighten all of those down. Right now I'm just going to do hand tight and then go back over it all with the socket wrench. After you've got your ECU bolted back down onto it, you're going to want to line up that shorter side with that bolt right there, that longer side of the bracket in that second hole right there with that bolt. All right, so then you're gonna wanna take those 2 silver nuts and put this one on here, right there. Second one goes on down here. big head's gonna have to be in the way for a second. Down here, just like that. Then you can take your 10mm wrench, wherever it is, there it is, and tighten both of those down as well. But anyways, then after that, you're going to want to remember to clip this back into place right here in that hole. You just take that, push it in, and then bam, you're all good there. Remember to plug everything back in because you kind of want your ECU to work, I'm guessing. So do exactly what you did but in reverse. You plug it in, then just push those together. Super simple. Someone's putting up a fight. There we go. Oh, okay, I see. So this one was already down like that from when I showed you, but yours are probably gonna be up like that. Take it, plug it in as much as you can, and then just pull down on that. It'll pop right in. Maybe. I don't know what's going on with this one. But these other two are good. All right, so I figured out why it wasn't going in. It's actually super simple, but basically you want to make sure this part of the clip is kind of pointed outwards. So just like how it would be when you take it off, and you want to make sure that you push it, because I was having it kind of like that. You want to make sure you push it all the way in, then pull that down, and it'll stay in there nice and secure. All right, next step is reinstalling this inner piece of the glove box. You want to start by making sure you get all of your wiring connectors and plugging those back in. So this tiny one goes into this tiny black clip right here, just like that. That one goes in right there, just like that. You want to make sure you hear a click when you're tightening them. And this last one here, that's bright, hold on. Yeah, that last one there goes in there. So I don't know how the camera work is. I cannot see it right now. But take that, push it in, tighten it until you hear a click. Then you'll find this little clip up here that you pushed out before. And you're going to want to take that, push it right back in where it came out of, which is that upper hole right there. That bottom one is for a bolt. That top one is for that little plastic piece holding in these two wiring connectors. So right there, push that in, it'll just pop right in place. Then I'm gonna take this piece, you see down here, there's this little rectangle divot. You want to line up that pin with it right there, just like that. And then same thing up here, another one just like that. Push that back in. It'll hold itself in place for now. Then you want to go ahead, put back all your screws, and I will fast forward until that is done. All right, so I've got all the screws in. Remember, there is one right there, two right there, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there are 7. The 7th one would go right there, but I'm missing that one. I mean, it's not a huge deal. You can see it's in there pretty good. It's not moving. Then the next thing you're going to want to do after that, one of the last steps, is to take this plastic piece that you took off earlier. You just take that. There's a couple places you got to line it up, like that hole right there, if you can see. So like right there, right there, right there, right there. One for each of these 4 little plastic pieces there. Just line those up, push that back down, and it'll pop right into place. So that part can be a little annoying to get back on just because of this part of trim right here, this plastic piece, but you just kind of press it back on and it'll snap right back into place. Anyways, what I am going to do next is, just a second, is everything just fell out of it, but I am going to put back in my glove box. Remember, you got to reconnect this little thing right here, which just, let me see if I can show you. Take that little piece. It's kind of hard to pull down, but you can pull it down to about that far. And you want to lift up your glove box and just snap that right back on. Just like that. Super simple. Last step, or second to last step, is actually getting the glove box back in. I'll put the camera down for this. All right, now last step, this is a little tricky, but I'll show you how to do it real quick. On each side of the glove box, let me see if I can get the camera. You see how there's kind of an opening right there? It's kind of hard to point to, but each side of the glove box has that little plastic piece right there. Sorry, the camera's not focusing super well, but that plastic piece right there and right there. Oh, you can see the opening really good on this side, but you want to make sure each of those plastic pieces ends up in that pretty good sized hole right here and not this little tiny one. I, for the longest time, kept trying to put them in up here, and spoiler alert, it does not go in like that. It is not fun to try and get it in like that either. But once you do all of that, you'll have your glove box in. If the camera would focus, you'll get your glove box in, and bam. Now the very last step, take this plastic piece that you would have removed from the bottom and just pop that back into place down here. It's super simple. Just take it, a couple of pins you gotta line up, like right here, there, and here. You just take those, push them up, and just like that, super simple, pops back into place, and you are completely done. And that is how to replace an ECU on a 2008, or I guess any G37 model. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video was kind of a mess. It is my very first YouTube video, so I really did not know what I was doing, but thank you guys so much for bearing with me, and I will see you in the next one.